All right, so if you're excited to get started, let's dive right in. So here we are now, and if you remember from the last time, we obtained the data list from the actual client. In this case, it's David from Modern Image Atlanta. We cleaned the data, we selected 100 leads at random, and we got them sent for approval. Once the client approved it, we exported the CSV, then we signed up for our GoHighLevel account, and now we're actually, we started the base of the setup, and now we're just going to continue the setup and go over what's important. So what's going to happen here is let's actually break down what this is. All right. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to set up the email service. So in this case here, we're using Microsoft Outlook. But depending on your email service, you have to basically follow a certain set of steps to actually set it up inside of GoHighLevel so that when the emails are being sent out, it's actually showing from that email. After that, we're going to be building and importing email templates. These are actual templates that are going to be used for the actual emails. And so, there's going to be a 3-step email as we're doing something called a reactivation campaign. And then we're going to set up the actual campaign and the workflow. And so that's going to be important as we're actually, designing how this all works. All right. So that's the steps that we're going to do. And so now let's actually break this down here, and I'm going to show you how this all works. All right. So here we are in GoHighLevel, and we need to actually add our email. So the first step that we need to do is we need to actually go into settings and then the email services. So let's go right to the bottom here. You're going to select settings, and inside of here, you're going to go over to email services on the left. Now over here at the top right, you're going to see add service. Now, if you click on that and you see in the drop down here, you only see Mailgun, chances are that your administrator has to actually add in the additional services. Now in this case here, I've got both an agency account and a regular account. So if you are actually coming in from an agency, meaning that you bought the GoHighLevel service from someone else who's actually got an agency account, then you're going to have to ask them to add this in. But I'm going to show you how to do that if you already have an agency account as well. So at the top left here, you're going to click over here and you're going to go into your main account. And then over here, you're going to see a button that says switch to agency view. Now on the left, we're going to see something called add-ons. Now, one thing that I noticed is that when you're going to email services, sometimes you won't see everything inside of the dropdown when you click on add service. So if that happens, just go back again and come back to the settings, or just hit refresh, and that should basically reload it, and you should see all the items in the dropdown. If not, chances are you're inside of an agency view account. And if that's the case, you just have to kind of, talk to whoever gave you the account and ask them to actually set this up. But basically what's going to happen is you're going to click on add service, and in the SMTP provider, click on the drop down here and click on other. And now you can enter all the information from your Microsoft account. Ultimately, the best thing to do rather than trying to connect up Microsoft Outlook and, get it all set up under this Outlook sort of thing is actually to use the lead connector email system and create a dedicated domain and IP. Okay, so once you've actually set up the email, you've gone through whatever SMTP items or whatever you've got to do inside of your email services to set up, the email that you're going to be sending from. Our next item is we have to actually break down what we're going to be doing. So as many of you know, I am an AI person. I'm not a salesperson or marketing person, even though, I may have a few skills here and there, but I'm not really in that field. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some ChatGPT to kind of guide us as to what's going on. And from what I was doing research-wise, it told me that we're going to be doing something called a reactivation campaign. And so what this is basically, it's like 7 days, 3 emails sent to past clients that we've connected to. And so that's exactly what we're doing here, is we're actually going to be following that. All right. So now we're using ChatGPT to kind of, outline the finalized details, or really getting close to there. We've got specific dates. We've got, December 4th, 9th, and 12th. And we're going to be using, of course, Modern Image Atlanta, getting all the details in together to figure out what's a good call to action and, what we need to put together for this, campaign. So it's going to now create that prompt for us. And then we're going to put that in again and just have it run the prompt on itself. So that's a nice little cheat code that you can use there, a little hack where you actually get ChatGPT to create a prompt to use in ChatGPT or even in Perplexity or Claude or anything else. All right, so now we're going to run that prompt right inside of here. So we're actually going to start a new chat session here. All right, so ChatGPT has now laid out several emails that we're going to be using. So as you can see, we've set up our email, And we just built out a few, email templates or email items within ChatGPT. Now we're going to go and set up some of the campaign workflows inside of GoHighLevel. So let's go ahead and do that now. So what you're going to do is you're going to select opportunities and pipelines inside of the settings window there. And then what's going to happen is where it says customize opportunity settings, just make sure that this checkbox is off. Next, we're going to select pipelines. So from here, you can create a pipeline in two different ways. You can either click on create pipeline here or on this button up here. Now there's several different stages for the leads. We want to think through what they are, but basically we want to get this lead from being, a lead right back into, being a client again and paying for an actual service. So I'm going to name this pipeline the reactivation pipeline. And we're going to start off with the first stage here, which is this is, a past lead. All right. So this is a past customer. They did business with us. So we're going to start them there. Now ChatGPT has given us some suggested, pipeline stages. So we have the lead coming in. They were contacted. Did they book an appointment? Did they review a project? Did we send an estimate? Won and lost. I think that's pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and do that there. All right. So once you're done with that, click on create. All right. So now we've got our first pipeline here, which is the reactivation pipeline. Okay. So now that we've actually got our reactivation pipeline stages set, now we're going to be actually going to create the actual workflows that we're going to need. So on the left side here, we're going to go down to automation. And you're going to notice that from here, we can now start setting up actual workflows. So this is where a lot of the magic happens when it comes to GoHighLevel. So let's get started and let's go ahead and hit the continue button. And I would recommend for sure setting up the autosave. So go ahead and click on enable autosave. So now at the top here, let's go ahead and let's rename this workflow. We're going to call this the reactivation workflow. So now, as you could see, we've got a few triggers to start off with. And generally that's what's going to start any form of workflow. So we can add a new trigger. We can see the one that they have. I'm going to select the one that they have already. And we're going to see what are the different options here. All right. So at this point here, as you could see, this one has a trigger option of contact tag. And that is when we actually add a specific tag. We're going to be using this one here to help us out in our entire workflow. Go ahead and click on save trigger after that, and we should be good to go. So now we've actually got our contact tag trigger set up and ready to go over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to now design the 3-step email process that's going to be done on a specific day and time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select add filters here, and we want to actually put a tag here specifically. We're going to select contact tag. We're going to be selecting a name for it. We're going to call it contact tag. We're going to select tag added for the filters. Over here where it says select tag, we're going to just type in the name of our tag, and then we're going to click on add new tag, or we're just going to select it if it's already in the list. And now this actual trigger is ready. Let's go ahead and save trigger, and we're all set. So over here, after the contact tag has been added, let's go ahead and set up our first email. So let's hit the plus button. Let's type an email. And you can see here, there's a send email option. Go ahead and click on that. So in the from name, you want to put the business name. In this case, it's Modern Image Atlanta. In the from email, put the email that you actually set up. All right, so we've had ChatGPT kind of go ahead and help us create these emails. So we're just going to create, just the basics of it. And then I'm going to actually get the client, David, to connect with me so that we can go over the emails and make sure that they look correct. Now, a nice thing to do is usually send out a test email to see how it looks. So I'm going to do that now. And when you're done, you can actually click on the save action button. So I'm going to do that right now. And there we go. We've actually got our first email set up. So as per our plan, we're actually going to hit the plus button here, and we're going to do a wait, and we're going to be waiting 3 days. From there, we're going to hit save action. And then again, we're going to add another email. So go ahead and hit the plus button and click on send email. And now fill this information in again for the second email. All right, so now we've got the 3-step plan here. Right after that, we want to change the tag. So over here, we're going to go into remove contact tag. And at this point, we want to select a specific tag. In this case here, the reactivation December 2025 tag. And now let's go ahead and save action. And that's it. That's the entire workflow. So as you could see, we're starting off the workflow by actually having a tag added to this actual contact. From there, they're going to get the 3 email process. They're going to start off with the first email immediately. then there'll be a 3-day wait, then another email, then another 3-day wait, then the final email, at which point we're going to remove that tag and they're out of the workflow. So now at this point here, you're going to see that this is still in draft mode. When we're ready to actually have this workflow run, we would go ahead and hit publish. I hope that you learned a lot. Please don't forget to subscribe below, and I look forward to taking you to a higher level. Take care. Bye-bye.